Boom, hey internets. So you're at the point where you have your logo and you have your initial designs and you're ready to do t-shirts. And so you're trying to figure out production for your t-shirts. There's a couple different ways you could do that. I'm gonna tell you the options and I'm gonna tell you the way I did it. So stay all the way to the end to understand the thought process of how I'm rolling mine out. And you can see the end result of that as well on nonbeta.co. And I'm gonna walk you through that. And you can see the actual end result on my brand website, but I'll show you media of that here. And I'm gonna show you actual examples of the production here. Hey guys, my name is Jon Phenom. I'm the clothing brand mentor, and I've been working professionally in fashion and apparel development since 2000. I was creative director of the last couple companies I worked at, of all multi-million-dollar brands. So there's a lot of different options for you guys. As this is post-dating, the landscape of how to make a t-shirt is crazy with the explosion of DTF, DTG, sublimation, and the whole category of DIY and crafters getting bigger and bigger. There's more ways for you to get to the end result of a t-shirt, right? Some of the things that I want you to keep in mind is the end result, right? Like how many units are you making and who is that going to? And keep in mind the quality as well, because if you're just making this for like a club or your own little friends, or you are just really DIYing everything to show and express your own styling, you can do whatever you want. There's a lot of DIY transfer kits that you can buy probably at Walmart at this point that are gonna give you really decent quality for that type of application. Now, traditionally, my YouTube channel is covering people that want to grow like multi-million-dollar clothing brands, right? So I've been working professionally with different brands since 2000, like name on the business card since 2000. Also, I will let you know that I owned my own high volume screen printing shop for over 3 years. My ex-business partner still runs that business. You know, I am at ISS show almost every year, so come holler at me if you see me over there. So I keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on in traditional t-shirt making as well. So that leads me to my first answer. Of course, you can do traditional screen printing, right? This has been like generations and centuries of screen printing has existed. So everything using plastisol ink, emulsion, making the screens, pulling that paint across to make your t-shirt is something that's always going to exist. Now, before the rise of transfers and making printers, right, direct to garment printers and printers that you could buy to bring at home, before that, this was pretty much the only way that you can do it. And when your company is doing big units, like let's say you do 13 different t-shirt designs or looks, not including colorways, and you're getting, you know, hundreds of orders on the one design, this is when you would definitely want to use screen printing. Now, whether you screen print on your own in-house or outsource it to another company where all they do is screen printing all day, is pretty much up to you. I always outsource that. There's a couple YouTube channels which will kind of show how people almost like man cave, or they kind of create their own production facility like in their garage or create a separate space for it. If you live in a place where you can facilitate that, I live in California, where it's pretty expensive to want to do that, but I know some brands here that do have a garage setup for pretty simple production. So your traditional way of t-shirt production is always an option. The best option for me, having mentioned all of those avenues, are things that you could Google and search on YouTube and see tons of examples of. For me, starting the brand that I did not that long ago was going with transfers. And for transfers, I use SupaColor. This is not a secret. And so whenever you're doing full color, I just think SupaColor just rules when it comes to this entire world, this whole transfer world. You can get more vibrant, better prints than the transfers from SupaColor, and they last longer than the shirt. And this is, again, from a person who owned a high volume screen printing shop. We used to do a portion of the t-shirts for BlizzCon. So Blizzard, if you guys don't know, is a huge gaming company. So that is all artwork driven. That's all Photoshop artwork, very graphic heavy, intellectual properties, right? Like different characters from their video games type artwork. So that's gonna have a lot of different layers. And I got exposed to SupaColor 3 years ago, I believe, from the time that I'm shooting this video. And there's a video from it. So if you dig in the crates, if you look in my archives, I have the t-shirt, and that look of shock on my face was real. After, you know, printing countless thousands and thousands of shirts in the business, when I did my press for this shirt, I was floored, right? And I'm gonna bring it up to the camera so you can just see the type of detail in the design. And so this design that I did, I purposely put a lot of very intricate little details so I could see how far I could push the limitations of SupaColor, and again, the shock in my face. And I'm showing you this right now, and I said this print will last longer than the t-shirt, right? This will last longer than the t-shirt. So I was impressed with what it could do off rip. SupaColor basically gives me the power of a design or a screen printing shop all in a transfer, right? So as long as you get a heat press, and at this point you guys could buy a crafter's heat press for a very cheap price. I have a Heat Press Nation industrial press, and as long as you have one of those, I mean, it's basically a screen printing company in a box. So with this design that I showed you here, all of it comes to me in a package. I have these organized on a shelf, so I have the design, but all the designs are here, okay? Like, this is the whole design that I then transform into a t-shirt like this, or a hoodie, or a fleece crew neck, right? I have no minimums, but I'm not committing to the blank. So this blank stays in my inventory and stays as a possible selling design until I sell it. So that's one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is I can try a lot of different looks and a lot of different designs before I decide to introduce them to the public. Before I say this is going to be my spring or fall drop, or however you do your drops, right? If they're not seasonal and they're just random drops, before you decide that, I can see what the design looks like. So I'll give you an example. This right here is a Gangsheet. A Gangsheet basically allows you to get as many designs as you want into the space, and then you gotta cut it out later. But this is a huge Gangsheet where I can put a lot of designs. And so there's a couple designs that I want to try out. So with the other spaces that was left in the Gangsheet, I would fill it up with other different logos, different sayings. I have the social media handle right here, and I have different monograms just to fill the space so I could use it 100%. Boom, I shipped that out to SupaColor. Now, SupaColor then sends me a box of that design that I put on the Gangsheet. The whole package looks like this, and essentially inside I have the designs that were on my screen, but now they're ready to get pressed with my heat press. Of course, I'm going to have to cut all of these out, right? But then now all of these designs individually can become a design, and I could test it out and see what it looks like. I could even make exclusives that I don't want to put out in the public, or maybe if I just want to do a teaser of it, I could actually make the t-shirt, maybe even wear the shirt, or create a promo for social media and see how people react to it. But on this sheet alone, there's got to be at least 4 to 6 different designs. You could also play with the arrangement of the designs and come up with a different design just from playing with how you want to place it onto a t-shirt, a crew neck, or a hoodie. This kind of freedom paired with the quality of the end result is just incredible, and it allows me to think more of just the design aspect and the concepting of my artwork and my graphic communication of my entire printables category. So I just want to give you some quick visuals of what that actually looks like. So for the first season of my line, one of the graphics was this is called the written tee, and you can see I have a gradient that's used from here to this side. And this comes out arguably better than screen printing, and like I said, this print is gonna last longer than the t-shirt, right? Another t-shirt, and this is gonna be a preview for summer, but I wanted to try out this graph style of lettering on a tank top, right? So again, if I come in closer, you can see the detail and the quality there. And again, this is gonna last longer than the t-shirt, and you can see how vibrant the color is. Again, I have like several colors moving in and out and a gradient there, and then I got a hit with that teal with the company, with Co. This design here obviously is versatile, so I could put this under any color blank I want. So again, that freedom of design is what I'm talking about. Right now it's on a white shirt. If I picked a teal shirt, an Atlantic color shirt. I like to use Vela Canvas. So Vela Canvas has like over 300 colors and it can be mind numbing. But once you have the design on a transfer, as long as you have the blank, you can see what it really actually looks like physically and do a one-off without having to do a ton of minimums, just to see what that one looks like. And it can change the direction of what product you decide to put out and how you put it out in terms of your looks. And if you go to nonbeta.co, you can see these styles along with all the other styles, and a lot of these initial ones are done with SupaColor. If I get a major order in any of these, of course I could always go back to screen printing. All of my files are set so I can just send an EPS or an AI file to my screen printer, so that old school way of doing it, of course, is ready to go in case it's something I can't handle with heat pressing here in my garage at home. And so I have that option as well. But the flexibility in just the design and concepting, that fluidity is the reason that I'm going with SupaColor, and I will continue to rock with SupaColor moving forward. More questions, drop them below. You could also text me at this number here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.